everyone, couple of ground rules. Ensure that you're muted throughout the session. If you have an important clarification or doubt, ensure that you raise your hand and do not interrupt, because then it might be like a lot of noise commotion for other people, because they wouldn't understand which doubt are we really asking and what kind of clarifications do I give. So ensure that you use the chat box to its maximum capacity. Use the hand raise, because discipline is something that is generally ingrained in all of us, and it's like a better deal. Amazing. Hi everyone, I am Koshiki and I will be your trainer for the middle category for the next 3 days. I'm really happy that all of you could join despite your classes, despite anything, extracurricular activities. It's really amazing to see that level of enthusiasm in the very first place. Welcome to Indian Debating League. We as an organization ensure that we democratize debating. I have one question for all of you, and anybody can just answer it, and then we are good to go. Why do you like debating? Like, what is an inherent need for you to love debating? Anybody can raise their hand and I can pick you. Anybody? Why do you guys like debating? Yes, Saket. And then Krisha.
So debating involves two perspectives. So usually, I mean, before I was introduced to debating, I always used to go with like the one like way which the school used to teach, or wherever the books which I read, wherever I heard. But then when I was introduced to debating, I started to see that each small different perspective, and sometimes involving both of these perspectives is really important if you want to because
Hi everyone, please stay muted because Saket was talking. I couldn't hear them properly, but I can get the gist. That's amazing, Saket, because debating has also changed me, because it has introduced me to multifarious perspectives. And I'm really glad that you're introducing yourself to debating in such a flourishing age. I will take one more opinion and then we can move on. I will take Neil.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so debating allows us to share our opinions in a friendly way, and it allows us to change our perspective. It allows us to open our mind to other viewpoints, so it can broaden our perspective.
That's amazing, Neil. Glad to know that you had like a wonderful experience trying to debate multiple motions. Throughout the competition, we'll be introducing you to multiple themes and topics, which might help you frame your opinions in a much more clear manner and in a much more nuanced manner, which means you will be speaking in a much more deeper level. Great. We are ensuring that we are collaborating with IIT Delhi, which has an amazing debating society. And I am really glad to announce that all the flourishing debaters get amazing opportunity at IIT Delhi as well as Ogli at all points of time. Couple of ground rules. I will be stopping at the most important slide for like, let's say 50 seconds for you to ensure that you have no doubts. Yes, Weber, do you have anything to say?
It was actually related to the topic of debating, but I think the turn is over. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, don't worry about it. Great. So yes, whenever I pick like two people, ensure that only two people like sort of unmute themselves, and I will be asking a lot of questions, so everybody will get an opportunity. Great. Indian Debating League is the most prestigious public speaking and debating platform, which offers around multiple topics for you to debate on. So it also helps you improve, and it's a multifarious opportunity. Multifarious is like everybody can debate on any topic. So let's say if I'm good at sports, debating gives me an opportunity to understand sports, politics, feminism, social justice movement, even like pop culture, movies, films, books. Anything that you have encountered or have been observing in the society comes at a debating topic, and you just have to engage with it at all points of time. Great. We've had 68,000 debaters from across the country, and we are trying to expand and democratize it to, let's say, London, US, and Czech Republic, all of these countries which have a growing culture, because we think Indian students are also there in US and London, and they need that exposure and maybe some Indian mentor who really helps us understand in a really comfortable space in the very first place. Throughout the decade, we have ensured we have 100+ debating tournaments. So I think if I am really right, I have seen a lot of you participate in Indian Debating League competitions in the past as well. Glad to see those faces back again. And we've had like 300 premium schools of India. and they have been extremely enthusiastic to send their students, and they have like won a lot of accomplishments, and we're really glad to look new faces this time. And we've had like 17 plus global wins. This looks like participating in Harvard Invitational, Yale Invitational, getting EFL Speaker Awards in Paris World Schools Championship. And when you actually grow with this tournament, I really want you to just like, I want to see these faces grabbing global wins. I hope we can make this possible throughout. Great. Can somebody guess who this person is? Some of you might not know it, some of you might know him. Yes, I want you to give like a random guess who is this person. Yes, Yuvan.
Harish Natarajan.
Yeah, exactly. This is Harish Natarajan. They have been like world's best debater throughout, and they've helped Ogly start from scratch. So their mentorship has been amazing throughout. And yes, we ensure that Ogly is extremely technologically swift so that you face no errors when you try to debate online, which is why anybody who's actually participated in an Ogly debate, they face like very minimal technical glitches, because you probably ensure that we have a smooth running tournament at all points of time and we have no delays throughout. Great. Yes, anybody who has ambitions to go in any of these colleges, if you can identify like any colleges from here. Does anybody want to apply abroad when they graduate from college? Oh, wait, school? So many people. No, I only say Dhriti, Avantika, Devesh. So many people. That's really glad. So, debating helps you make a really comprehensive profile, and it really helps you ensure that you have so many awards written in your CV. So even if you're not winning any tournament, you can also write that, hey, I have participated in Harvard Invitational, I have participated in Czech debate competition, I have participated in New York University, and everything is exclusively available to you from the Ogly space in the very first space. Put your hands down, everyone. Thanks for answering. Glad to see that level of enthusiasm. Sorry. Great. Welcome to Ideal 3.0. We've had like 2 editions past years, and we've had fun. We've had like so many people trying to debate and trying to improve their mindset. So you get 4 things exclusively. And I'm not kidding, neither am I saying anything false. You actually have an improvement in your mindset, because you get exposed to a lot of other things which you haven't had any sort of introduction for so far. Like a lot of people might not know what Bitcoin is, but right now when you debate on these topics, you get to exclusively research on what Bitcoin is and what kind of societal impact does it hold in the very first place. Second, reflective thinking. Can somebody tell me what is reflective thinking, everyone? Like, what do you reflect when you debate? Yes, Dhriti. Somebody's mic is just acting like a DJ. Okay. Yes, Dhriti.
Reflective thinking is, I'm not sure, but anyway, reflective thinking is something when we can sort of look back on our past mistakes or try and see what has gone wrong where and what has really gone right. Basically, reflecting on our past actions is what I think reflective thinking is.
Yes, exactly. So every point here is very interconnected. So let's say if you have growth of mindset, you will probably see yourself reflecting what you were when you were debating past year and who you are when you've started debating for the past 1 year. And that kind of improvement is really commendable, because you get to that space where you start like interacting with people in a much more meaningful manner. And I want all of my kids to actually start debating and ensuring that they actually debate in a much more meaningful manner, get to research a lot more. And it is very different from your schools, because oftentimes schools like give you one assignment and they're like, you know what, just like copy paste everything, or maybe just try to memorize everything. Debating is different because you get 2 things. First, prepared round. Prepared round is you get a motion right before 48 hours or maybe 24 hours before, and you have to research on that topic. So you have enough time to research on what you will see on the topic along with your partners. Second, impromptu round. Why do we have prepared round before impromptu round? Is because we ensure that people actually have some level of familiarity with what is going on and what is the format and motion look like, and how do we case prepare. Throughout the session, I'm going to ensure that you get strategies as to how do you prepare and how do you actually, let's say, get first position in every round in the very first place. Secondarily, impromptu round is where you actually you get preparation time, but your motion is released exactly the time when you enter your room. So you get to see the motion and you actually start preparing with your team partners for maybe 60 minutes or maybe whatever the time limit is. I'm going to ensure that you guys know about it. Great. Thirdly, in terms of ensuring that you have confident expression, like people who have been debating for 10, 12 tournaments, I'm not saying it's an unlimited, like it's a cap that you have to follow, like everybody has to do 10, 12 tournaments to maybe become really confident. It's not like that. Everybody has different way of being confident, extremely expressive, etc. So, you can do 2 tournaments and be like, I feel confident. Maybe I can express myself really confidently. Last, global citizens. You get, whenever you're around, you get to interact with a lot of people from around the country and around the world. I think that's a very genuine friendship because you intellectually try to be friends with each other and you try to really like answer a lot of things that they're trying to ask you in the very first place. I have 2 questions here, and these are really far-fetched. Okay, Anya has his first debate. Really, congratulations. Is this tournament in person? When you actually reach the finals, which people will be selected from within the tournament after online rounds, you will be invited in person. Thirdly, Miss, will there be POIs in this tournament? Yes, I will clarify that when I actually move to the next slides. Amazing. Yes, I'll just give you important details. Although we are yet to release a lot of information and I want you to stay updated, we will be ensuring that all of you are really updated. Note, there are 3 things that you have to be extremely aware about. First, finale, which is everybody who's being selected to debate at finals, will be updated about the time, updated about the tournament details by the end of November. So like the tournament is end of November, you will be informed in the first week of November. So you don't have to worry about any information because we ensure that all our kids are really, really informed whether they are doing this or whether they're not doing this. The grades which are participating is grade 3rd to grade 12th, which means all the grades, which means like junior to senior. We have 3 categories. The venue is IIT Delhi. We will be informing you about all of the things very, very early. Okay, Miss, where will the final be held? It is in IIT Delhi, which is like there's a metro station which is called IIT Delhi. So you can take a metro, you can come by car, you can have like all your travel details ready, and we will be ensuring that we give you all the information. So don't worry about it. Okay, ma'am, thanks a lot. Amazing. Great. Can anybody guess the theme? Like it's right there in the slide. Can anybody tell me what the theme actually looks like? India's Odyssey, Ancient India to AI-led India. Yes,
I think it's basically just India's journey from the very beginning, like Mughal, from like Harappan civilization to right now our current very technologically advanced India, like whatever we've been through and things. At least that's what I think the theme is.
yes, that's right, Dhriti. Weber, I will be taking a lot of people this time because I want you to understand how much of you get this theme. Yes, Weber, then Neil, then Ojasvi. I will just name you guys when you have to speak.
Okay,
Yes,
Vaibhav Jain here. Yeah. So the thing what I think, India's Odyssey, ancient India to AI-led India, it's like showing the India before the Green Revolution, before the Dreadly Partition, before the Mughal Samrajya, even before the Harappan civilization, to this day, making India the president of G20, P20, inviting world guests, get known for its milk, dairy products, greenery and all, tourism.
that was a wonderful answer, Weber. I really like the in-depth answer. Neil?
So what I feel is like how India has progressed. What steps did it take to become such a modern country?
Okay, that's amazing. You're basically saying we follow a path of development. That's amazing. Ojasvi?
Yeah, so I personally think that it is the metamorphosis of India from the ancient culture to the newly developed and tech and AI, like the new India. So it focuses on the progress and the development the country has been through since the British time. Like it can even go back to the Harappan civilization. And today, when you look at India, rather than the poverty, you'll see more of prosperity and high tech.
That's
That's what I
amazing,
mean.
Ojasvi. That's amazing, wonderful. People who have been asking in the chat box, when will the information about people who are moving forward in the next round be released? We will notify you. Don't worry, we're actually 1 month ahead, and we will be ensuring that all the people are getting notified and none of you are actually left behind. So just trust me, that's all. Great. Vedant. Vedant, are you here?
Oh, sorry, I accidentally lowered my hand. I mean, raised my hand, accidentally raised.
Yes, you can go ahead. Okay, I will be moving ahead. Weber has spoken. K. Mitra, you can go ahead.
Here, K. Mitra here. In my opinion, what would be the topic? I think it will be like the growth of India from nothing, like the Asian, like that, to now the robotics, the more education, that all the growth of India, how it became this much technological.
That's amazing, K. Mitra. Kiara, I will be taking two more and then I will be moving ahead.
I think that the topic would be basically from the starting of India's journey all the way to the current India, which is right now, and which is basically full of AI, such as robotics and Chandrayaan 3, and how it became a member of G20.
That's amazing, Kiara. Charyushi, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. I'm just getting familiarized.
No, ma'am, it's all right. My name is
Yes.
Charukeshi Pandey. And I think the topic here, which is India's Odyssey, Ancient India to AI-led India, I think first it emphasizes on the ancient part of India's history, which is basically the Mauryan Empire, the Chandragupta Empire, when we were not that technologically advanced, of course. And then it emphasizes on the current India, which is led by technology, where we are growing in terms of technology and where we are hosting big events such as the G20. And also, I think it emphasizes on the journey that has taken us to this achievement, that has taken us to this specific level of importance, I'd say. That's all. Thank you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Meryl, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Yeah, it's correct. It's better. So basically, according to me, what the motion means is that how India progressed from ancient India, from living in the Harappan civilization, and now that we have successfully launched Chandrayaan 3. Now we are a part of G20. Now we are inviting worldwide guests, and now how India is progressing every minute, and how slowly at this pace, even though the pace is nice and slow, at one time in history we will reach the position, and we will live like how the people live in other countries too.
That's amazing, everyone. Great. Lower your hands. Let me answer all the things that have been written in the chat box. Utilize the chat box. Lovely that people are actually utilizing it. Weber says, I do not believe India has been modernized due to our education system and society. Up for debate. That's up for you. Slightly confusing. We have to choose one side or give a general journey of India from then to now. Anya, this is a theme. We will be giving you motions under this theme. Pratham, hello ma'am, what are the approximate dates for the qualifying rounds? And for us, will they start before 1st November? I will let you know. We will be moving towards further slides and I want everybody to actually know. Anaya says, ma'am, will the first round be online, offline? Online. Because we actually care about inclusivity and accessibility, that everybody can sit from their house, debate, get an extremely nice exposure. Note, we will be having 36 teams across 28 states and 8 union territories. So you will have maximum level of exposure and understanding of what this topic really entails. Note, you will be having 3 chances to qualify as part of state team. So nobody has to get really disheartened that, oh, I didn't do great in one round. Because you will be getting 3 chances. And those 3 chances will be divided as follows. I will let you know. Second, top 42, which means top 42 teams, will be a part of ISDS, which is Indian Schools Debating Society, National Camp, and quiz rounds. By being a part of this, you actually get to be selected for speaking at World Schools Debating Championship, where you meet more than 192 countries and you start debating. It's a really high level debating. Third, pan-India recognition and certificates for all. So let's say even if you did not qualify, never be sad because you will get massive amounts of recognition and certificates. So you have like a better profile and every college can like, hey, I really like this person, let's just approve them. What is pan-India? It's basically across the subcontinent. Okay, you will get a wild card entry to Harvard and Stanford Invitational 24. And so it's like a massive opportunity for you to debate at Ivy Leagues, which a lot of people dream about at a regular basis to begin with. Note, training will last from 9th to 21st October 23, which is going to be online. So wherever you are, just switch on, get inside, log into Zoom and just like start listening. Great. I want you to really focus on the training qualifier and finals dates because I know a lot of people will be like, hey, I don't know, ma'am, what is happening. So I want you to be really, really vigilant. Take a screenshot, do anything, but remember it and be extremely punctual on the day of the tournament. Training, which is I will be explaining you what you have to do during the entirety of the tournament. So you aren't going unarmed, which means you have a lot of arms for you to deal with what debating is. Note, training will last from 9th to 21st October 23, which is going to be held online. Qualifiers, which means the day of the tournament starts when every student who is registered for Indian Debating League will be debating from 26th October to 7th of November, which is going to be held online. Every detail will be shared on the groups that you're a part of. Never worry about, you will be getting emails on your parents' email account. And if you have an email account, I think that's really, really old for you to do that, but that's amazing. What will be finals? Finals are going to be held at the end of November. We will notify all the teams who actually qualify. We will be telling you how many teams will be moving forward in the sooner training sessions that we have. Finals are going to be on November 2023, which is the end week, and it's going to be held offline at IIT Delhi. I hope the maximum people from middle category actually join this. Miss, what is the exact date of the final? Will be notified. Don't worry, we're actually running like 1 month ahead. Don't worry about it. Quick question, will the information include certain issues that India has faced or currently have to face? Yes, you will be getting like a debate session on what you have to speak, like a small training session on what is the topic all about. So do not worry, just have trust. Is it the WSDC format? We will inform you, but no. Ma'am, please repeat that your voice was cracking. Was my voice cracking? Or maybe it's your internet.
No, it's not cracking. It's not cracking.
It's not cracking? Oh my god, that was like hilarious. Okay. Is it like MUN motions? Please help? No. We will help you figure out what these motions really have to be debated on. Ma'am, will the winners be winning certificates or will they be winning something else also? We will notify it, but you will be getting goodies. Ma'am, please repeat. Okay, I have already like repeated a lot. You can also see in front of the slide as well. Amazing. I have clarified all the doubts. Now moving ahead, I'm going to stop here for 5 seconds to take up any doubts. Works? Okay, Weber, ma'am, how do you divide students in teams? Like, is it according to state? Don't worry, we will be inviting people according to their state. And there's a distribution to that. I will be like answering that pretty early, but also it's very early, which means we will be notifying you with all the information. Don't just be in a hurry. You will be getting all the information. Waiting for 5 seconds. 5. Okay, Saket, you have it out.
Ma'am, by top 42 to be a part of ISGS national camp, they directly go into national camp, or is there another level?
You actually go to the quiz rounds of national camp. Works?
Okay.
Great. Okay. One more question. Will the qualifiers be in teams? We will let you know. Great. Let's understand the topic. Yes, Mirav.
Yes, we're sorry to interrupt, but what I was asking was, will we be competing with like the 7th graders and 8th graders?
Can you repeat, Mirav?
Will we be competing with 7th graders and 8th graders?
We will let you know because that's mostly the case that we are planning. So don't worry about it. We'll let you know, like the reason we are holding like training sessions every day from 9th to 21st is to ensure that we have maximum amount of doubts, and we will be releasing our information in slots so that everybody is pretty aware, because we have a lot of people joining us. So we have currently 500 plus registrations and we're waiting for more than 300 right now. So we want to really hit that, and we want all the people to get to know the information as we have it on a rolling basis. Great. Ancient India to AI-led India. The reason why we actually have this theme is because we want our kids to understand everything from right to its historicity. Historicity is where did the things actually start from, and why do you want to know it? Because a lot of people really feel that they're stuck in schools, they aren't getting their doubts cleared, and there's a lot of division. Through debating, we get to actually make students understand a lot of things in culmination. So you get to know AI, you get to know data, you get to know social science, you get to know science, you get to know technology, you get to know history. All of this is culminated. So you get like a holistic perspective on what you are debating in the very first place. There are three divisions of the themes, which means we will be focusing on three themes, like sub themes under this largest theme. First is ancient India, which means Harappa, which is the oldest civilization of planet Earth. Vedic culture, which means what kind of Vedas do we have from people who were like Indian historians or Pan-Asian historians back in like 14th, 15th century. Buddhism, what is this philosophy? Now I want three people to tell me what is Harappa, what is Vedic, and what is Buddhism. Just give me a general idea, try at least. Weber first.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this opportunity. If I begin
Yes,
with
indeed.
Harappa was the oldest civilization on Earth, and this civilization was actually better than our Indian modern cities these days. It was planned that well. It was known for its best sewers and it had great culture. The Vedic culture comes from the Rig Veda, Atharvaveda, Samaveda, and Rig Veda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, and there's another Veda, Rig Veda, Atharvaveda, Samveda,
And Yajurveda.
and there's
Actually,
another
points.
Veda,
Okay.
and Buddhism,
Okay.
and when we Yajurveda, yeah, Yajurveda, and then when we come on Buddhism, Buddhism is a religion which began from the northeastern part of India and is continued in Nepal, China, and other South Asian countries.
That's amazing, Weber. You actually understood the crux of the theme, and that was really lovely for you to remember the name of all the Vedas. Anybody else? I think I see Nithilian, if that is the correct pronunciation.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Ma'am, ma'am, ancient India consists of many civilizations. Ma'am, there is Harappan civilization, Buddhism, and Vedic culture. The Harappan civilization was started in 2600 BCE and went up to 1900 BCE, and it had many amazing things like it was located near the Indus River and the Indus Valley and tributaries, and it had town planning. It had upper town, lower town, and some cities also had a middle town. And Mohenjo-daro had a great bath, and the houses are also very sophisticated for the people to live in. Then the sewers were all lined with bricks and they were covered so people will not accidentally
It's
fall into.
amazing, Nithilian. That was really amazing that you had a comprehensive answer. I'll take Ojasvi and activists a third, and then we'll move on to the second theme, which is medieval India.
Buddhism is one of the world's largest religions and originated from 2500 years ago in India. Buddhists believe that the human life is one of suffering and that meditation, spiritual and physical labor, and good behavior are the ways to achieve enlightenment on Nirvana. According
Yes, that's amazing. But also, like, thanks for correcting individuals in the chat box. But yeah, even if you're saying something that's incorrect, try at least, because I want everybody to at least speak, because you get over to the fear of speaking. Great, I'll take Viraj and then Ojasvi.
Okay, ma'am. So, like, I am going to speak about the Vedic culture. Vedic culture is like the culture of the Vedic age, and Vedic age is the period when the Aryans came and settled in India. It's called the Vedic age because all the four Vedas were developed and created during this age as well.
That's amazing. Yes, Ojasvi, we can go ahead.
Yeah, so I have like very basic knowledge of these three eras. So Harappan civilization was known to be one of the most earliest civilizations in the world, and it was known for its administration and city structure. Some of the key features I read about it were like the drainage system and the granaries and how the city was divided. And then, and then we wrote when we wrote the Vedic era, like this was the system where like a lot of knowledge was spread, a lot of techniques were founded by saints and many people. My knowledge on this civilization is very limited. So moving on to the Buddhism's one, this was like founded in the Middle and East Asia, and it was founded by Gautam Buddha, as we all know him. And this civilization focuses on spreading wisdom and the spiritual knowledge along throughout the world.
That was amazing, Ojasvi. So Harappa was the first civilization, as all of you correctly point out, and people who will incorrectly identify, don't worry, this is like a learning session anyway. Vedic culture is basically the introduction of 4 Vedas that we've had, and what kind of impact does it have on society. Lastly, Buddhism is one of the biggest religions that actually exist in the world right now, and it actually preaches non-violence, nirgunas, sarvaguna, and all of these ideals which actually help you think very deeply and stay calm and maybe have a meditative experience. Great. I'll look at the chat for the benefit.
Excuse me, miss.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry to butt in, but
Yeah.
in Buddhism, it was also taught by Buddha himself. We were taught the Eightfold Path, which many people
Yes.
still follow these days. Even I follow it as a
That's
even
amazing.
though of a different religion.
That's amazing. Great. The teacher is not necessarily correct. Let me know where I'm incorrect because I have a degree in all of this. But sure. Note, I think 8 path in 4, where you actually have a largest meditative experience. And Buddhism is like a really pious religion which actually teaches you to be extremely sacrificial and extremely understanding of the circumstances that you've gone through in the very first place. Great. I will be looking at the. So, what are you saying? Oh, damn. Let me know where do I get cut off and where do you want me to actually repeat. Amazing. Second, medieval India. Can somebody tell me what is the ideology of Mughals? And I hope all of you actually know who Akbar was. And what kind of architecture and what kind of ideology did Rajput follow in the very first place? This is something that you've been learning because NCRTs and ICSC books and a lot of other books give you inherent knowledge of what historicity of all of these topics actually look like. I'll take up Vaibhav.
The Mughals, if you begin with, they were a dynasty who began from Persia, modern day Iraq, and made their journey all over from India, beginning from Babur and ending from Muhammad Shah, also called as Rangila. After Muhammad Shah, the decline of the Mughal Empire had begun, and the religion prevalent in Mughal era was mostly Islam. But during the time of Akbar, all religions were equal in prayers. So it was a very good time, and there was great architecture. For example, the Taj Mahal, the Lal Killa, then Fatehpur Sikri, and Rajputs. They did not actually begin from Rajasthan. They came from Madhya Pradesh. Then they ended from Rajasthan. From Rajasthan, that was their main base. And if you see, the Mughals and the Rajputs, these two dynasties, they were very well connected during many times. When Akbar had married a Rajput princess.
Amazing. So I wanted to know the trajectory throughout the training session. I'm going to extensively go towards the historicity or maybe the historical beginning of where all of these people actually came from and what were the impact of society. Note, history is a really, really long subject and it takes you 3-4 years to actually understand what medieval India, ancient India, modern India actually looks like in the very first place. You have like really thick books if you try to choose like history history as a course, like in Indian colleges or maybe outside colleges. So, Mughals actually came around the time of 1526, and they actually lasted for 1728 and 1726 BC, if I'm really pointing it correctly. So they actually lasted for 2 long centuries. And during that, they had like rule of Babur, Humayun, Akbar, rise of Sufism, and all of these aspects in the very first place. So for you to make this topic really understand well, try to divide into themes and try to divide it into timelines. Start from early 15th century and then try to go towards the last of mid of 17th century, where they actually had a exit time where there was a lot of crisis in terms of financial, familial, trying to have dynasty succession, all of these factors. Yes, Vaibhav, do you have anything else to say? I'll move to modern India.
Yes, just wanted to say something. The decline of the Mughal Empire began when Muhammad Shah, Rangila, or Rangila Shah, whom you can say a closet pervert, who he had no idea of what to do, and around February, Nader Shah, the great destroyer, he actually took the peacock throne, which had the diamond of the Kohinoor, the world's most unluckiest diamond these days, and he did not care or anything, and the person Muhammad Shah Rangila was drunk when he had handed over his turban in which he kept the Kohinoor, and when he handed over, Nader Shah had actually murdered Muhammad Shah Rangila. So he was a closet pervert.
That's kind of interesting. I've heard this as well from my teachers. Amazing. So, history is full of facts. You don't have to read like multiple books. Just try to divide into multiple themes, come up with facts, and ensure that you have a general idea of what architecture was. If you guys are in Delhi, please go Safdarjung Tomb, go to like Lodi Gardens where they have Islamic architecture, and try to go to like Fatehpur Sikri, Qutub, etc. Try, if you are in Agra, just go Taj Mahal, etc. It has a long historical narrative which actually goes around. I move to modern India. I want some thoughts on modern India before I actually go ahead. By the way, I don't think it's best to call him a pervert. Note that there's a lot of controversy attached to the personalities of King. And there have been a lot of scholars who call him, like, I do not want to use the word, and ensure that you use trigger warning when you actually use the word. So there can be a lot of narratives whether he was called a P person or not. Great. I'm going to go towards modern India. I'll recognize 3 people. Dhriti hasn't spoken. I'll just look for more people. Dhriti hasn't spoken. So Dhriti, go first.
Well, first, as we can see, that is a British colony. So they ruled over a vast majority of our modern India. So it was also called as the colonial period. During this time, they introduced several things like our education system and a ton of other things. They also industrialized India. Uh, in a lot of readers, they go in depth into like how they totally ruined Indian agriculture, because originally farmers were able to grow whatever crops they want. They slowly started forcing our farmer to grow cash crops instead of food. And as we know, this led to several famines that ravaged our India. But eventually, India rose out of this, and then now we have our technology and current issue. India actually has, well, it has a lot of current issues, as we very clearly know with the India and Canada issue. Uh, I also heard that there was a problem with India, China, and Sri Lanka. Um, and right now I think our technology is pretty good. And I'm not saying that we're fully developed, but I think we've come a long way from what we were, and I'm really proud of this journey. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. That's amazing. I'll take Kiara Luthra and then we'll move forward.
In the modern India, the technology has become more advanced, as you can see from the great achievement of ISRO Chandrayaan 3, and it has also become a member of G20. So
it has become more modern, and our India is also developing quicker than before. But there are also many issues which we can improve in India. For example, the population rate is growing really quickly in India, and now it has the fastest growing birth rate. But but the technology of India is also.
Yeah, that's amazing, Kiara. So note, modern India starts from the area where you had colonizers come in and they were establishing trade centers in the Indian subcontinent, and they were trying to ruin the golden era of what India was perceived to be the richest subcontinent back in 17th century starting. You will have to go ahead and divide this theme and start from colonizers and start from why, like the introduction of chat gpt. So that's like the extent to which you will have largest theme understanding in the very first place. Divide the themes and start looking up facts and how do you want to research on it in the very first place. Great. I lower your hand, guys. I will take all the doubts later. Great. So I want you to be very aware about the key tournament dates, because take a screenshot, get a phone, just write it down somewhere. I want you to just take a screenshot because that's easy and we are in a technologically like developed world, so why not? Great. Key tournament dates. From 9th October to 11th October, you will have training. Note, we are extending the training from like 20 as well. So we will have like training sessions throughout. People who missed it can join it. So don't worry about it. But yes, key tournament, the key training dates are 9th from 11th. Follow this, nothing else. What are you actually doing in the first day, which is today? Day 1, we have expandedly just spent 45 minutes discussing what AI India and what the theme justification looks like. This looks like theme explanation and format introduction. Day 2 is all about strategy. Day 3 is about real life practice. 26th, all the details will be in the group that you are a part of. 26th October to 7th November, you will be having your qualifiers, which means every person who is paid for this tournament and is a part of this tournament via registration has to be a part of qualifiers. There is no opt out. Your rounds will happen on selected dates and we will inform about it. So don't worry. And I wanted to be very clear, we aren't ensuring that nobody is getting information. Just trust us. Okay. End of November, you will have your final day, which is comprised of semi-finals and finals. Because semi-finals is also like a very deeper tournament. Like everybody comes to quarters, but we actually hold semi-finals where we have couple of teams, and finals where we have like two people facing each other. We will let you know the introduction pretty later in the slides as well. Are we clear with this? Any doubts? I don't mind repeating it.
Yeah, I have a doubt.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when will the motions be released? And I thought our qualifiers would be somewhat this weekend or so.
Note, you will be getting informed about the tournament as soon as possible, which is in the middle of October, and we will be informing you the tournament details by the end of training session. So don't really worry about it, okay? Great. Yes, Saki, do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, ma'am. I was gonna ask you about the 1v1 format, and I just saw the next slide. Okay.
Okay. I think I'll take that later. Viraj.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I had a doubt. Like, if you're unavailable on some day, like between 26th to 7th, if you're unavailable on some day, then what would happen?
You know, if you have registered for a tournament, why to skip it? So it's always lovely for you to participate wherever you can, whatever your capacity is. So try to attend. If you have like a massive emergency, skip it. That's up to you, but I want all of you to participate.
Sure.
Great. And let the orgly
There would be no
be informed.
There would be no rescheduling of that round or anything.
You will have to write that on Hello Ogly. Okay. Everybody who wants to get their rounds rescheduled, I want all of your parents to write an email to Hello Ogly with your concerned reason. Why do you want to get it rescheduled? What is the emergency? Works?
Sure, ma'am.
Amazing. I'll be moving ahead. Okay. What is the marking? Like, how do you get marked? I will be making you understand the format because it is relatively easy, but I want you to really be aware about how are you marked by the judges. Note, we have extremely high quality judges, which will give you qualitative feedback after the end of every round. You can approach them, you can write in the chat box, and you can verbalize it in the very first place. 3 things. First, matter. Second, manner. Third, method. Matter is, what is the person saying? Like, if I say something which is gibberish, do I think I'm saying something which is qualitative? No. And if I say something which is out of the AI theme or out of the theme, like if I start talking about dinosaurs and I start talking about dinosaurs for the next 4 minutes, do you think that's actually evolutionizing the case? Not exactly. So you just have to ensure that you like debate and research extensively about the theme, and do not get like really strict or rigid about one theme, which is, oh, I will only talk about medieval India, I will only talk about AI India, etc. Try to expand your horizons and the research capacity. Second, how is this relevant to their topic inside? I will be sharing you the recording for today's debate and also some resources as to how to actually debate and what to actually present in your matter. So also you can actually go on YouTube and you can start actually looking at what is matter and how do you present qualitative content and how to research. I have got a question which is relevant. So like the content of your debate. Yeah, exactly. Whatever you're saying, right? Yes, Saket.
But will the verdict of the debate be based on this, or will the verdict of the debate mainly be based on like who wins over Matt? I mean, like the speaking scores will be like marked through this, but is it for the same for the verdict? Who wins the
Note, for some rounds, your verdict will not be revealed, and for some rounds, the verdict will be revealed. This looks like out rounds and in rounds, but we're ensuring we're running on time crunch. So it's up to the organizing committee, which is Ogly team, to ensure how do we want to present it. We will be ensuring maximum transparency, which means we will be releasing speaker scores at the end of the tournament.
And
Works well?
my question is about like does the winner of the debate also depend on manner and method?
Yeah, exactly. You
Or,
have to
or,
weigh
or
like,
is it just the like individual speaking scores that depend on this manner and method?
yes, exactly. Everything is weighed equally. Does that make you satisfied?
Oh,
Works well. Great, Yash.
Yeah, actually, ma'am, I was not here for a while because I'm right now in my car. I was having my tuitions, right? Just want to know what has happened for the past few minutes.
Note, we have spent like 1 hour explaining what the theme of the motion is, how is the tournament run, what kind of achievements does Indian Debating League has. I want you to go through the recording once again when you reach home safely. Great, Aditi.
When will the motions be released?
The motions will be released as soon as possible. We will keep you notified. Second is, yes, I will take all the doubts after I'm done with the slide. Manner is like everybody has to switch on their camera. If you're facing network issues, let the judge know, but ensure that you come from a stable internet. Presentation looks like eye contact. Do not read everything from your document, because that sounds a little disconnective. Like, you do not want to be like, oh, I'm reading of the doc which I've copied from your Wikipedia. You have to ensure that you try to understand the topic from its genesis. Genesis looks like from scratch, so you can make up argument. You can use like a paper for writing bullet points, but or making notes, etc. But you can't really like read everything off a doc, because you just become dependent as a speaker. I want you to become independent as a speaker. This looks like, what kind of expressions are you making? Are you really engaging with the judges and the audience which is present there? What kind of engagement through rhetorical questions and ethical conduct? Which means if you're reading off the Wikipedia and somebody is like reflecting it, I think it's just very unethical. Try to ensure that you are in the ethical conduct of the tournament at all points of time to begin with. A rhetorical is, what kind of important questions are you raising throughout the entire of the tournament? Lastly, on method. Method is it's actually called strategy. So is the person really engaging with their opponent? Like, if you really try to never engage, try to never ask questions with the opponent, I'll tell you the format after this slide, because then everything becomes very, very clear. Second, do your arguments have proper structure? So everything should be like point A plus point B plus point C plus point D. You can't say that point A is equals to point D without telling me what point B, point C, point D looks like in the very first place. So proper structure looks like step-by-step analysis. Thirdly, rebuttals and integration in speech. Like, are you better able to engage with your opponent, better able to answer what your opponent is trying to say for so long? Thirdly, is the speaker sticking to the time limit? So let's say your time limit is 4 minutes and you just keep talking for 8 minutes. That's a violation. I think you will be getting negatively marked. Like negative marking is like a penalization that we don't really promote. But if you keep speaking for 10 minutes, I think judges have no option than like deducting marks. Great. Any questions right now? Yes, Saket. No questions? Saket, Manikantan. Okay, I'll move ahead. Okay, Ivan, go ahead.
What is the grace time?
Grace time, right? You're asking me about grace time?
Yes.
20 to 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Note, the format is now in front of you. I want you to like, even if you haven't listened to me for the past 1.5 hours, please pay attention to this. I'll wrap it up really, really quickly. Note, this is a 1 versus 1 format, which means you will be individually speaking and not with a team. So you will be like making your speech from an individual account and not like teams that you will be interacting. Note 1 versus 1, which means you will be for, the other person will be opposition, and it depends on the draws that are coming. We will tell you what the draws are when we are closer to our ending of the training session so that people have it fresh. It's an individual format where you give one main speech and one reply speech. One main speech is what is the quality or what is the matter that you're actually presenting. Reply speech is basically summarization of whatever you've spoken in your main speech, as the name itself suggests. I'll take that question, Pratham, after I'm done with this slide. Same applied for everybody else. 2 of the topics, which means we will be having 3 rounds. 2 of the topics will be shared before the qualifiers, which means 48 hours to 24 hours before. And 1 will be impromptu, which means you're in your room and we will release our motions, and you will have to ensure that you prepare like during the preparation time, which I will tell you how much it is. Note, verdict will not be released in the round, and judges directly submit the ballot. Note, we are making this interesting, but we are actually ensuring transparency at the end of the tournament. So this is where your question, Saket, comes into place, that the verdict will not be released. You will be getting qualitative feedback if you approach the judge, and you can directly submit the ballot. This is something for the judges. Ballot is your scorecard. The duration of the speech is 3 minutes per speaker. You will have to speak for 3 minutes per speaker. I'm repeating it again. I will tell you in the next session what you have to do in your 3 minutes and what kind of, let's say, quality are you prioritizing. Note, questions are not allowed in this format, which means POIs are point of information, which means like questions. You can't really ask questions. It's basically like an Australs thing that we're doing. You don't have to understand what Australs are. But yes, you can only engage with your opponent in your speech that my opponent said this, and you just have to wait for the next training session for me to explain what everything is about. I'll take up doubts. Neil first.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so you mentioned 1v1. So does that mean like we'll be speaking, like will it be a random draw?
Oh yes, round 1 will be randomized. Round 2 and round 3 will be power matchup. So let's say you won 1 round and then you will be put against the person who has won 1 round. So yes, don't worry about tabs. We're ethical.
Ma'am, is there going to be any group round?
Sorry?
Is there going to be any group debate round?
I will let you know, but there's a less possibility.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Great. Okay, any other questions in the previous slide? Amazing. I'll move ahead. 1 versus 1 format structure. You will have opposition and you will have proposition. Proposition is the person who speaks for the topic. So this house believes that cats are better than dogs. So proposition is cats are better. Opposition is dogs are better. Okay, proposition is somebody who supports the motion. Opposition is somebody who rejects the motion and goes against whatever proposition is saying. 3 minutes either side. And after the opposition speaker, you will speak your reply speaker from proposition, and then opposition speaker will be speaking for 3 minutes. So you will have like 1 person here, 1 person here. 1 person speaks 2 times. Main speech, summary speech. Opposition speaks main speech, summary speech. So it's like a one-on-one debate. You will speak for 3 minutes main speech on whatever the motion is, and you will speak opposition 3 minutes. We will also be debating reply speech, which means summary, like what have you said so far? We want to make it engaging and we want individual development at all points of time. Does that work well? For speaker first, opposition speaker second, prop summary speaker third, op summary speaker fourth. All of them 3 minutes speech. Any
Excuse me,
questions?
ma'am. I have one doubt.
Yes, go ahead.
So there will be three speakers in one team, right?
No, it is a 1 versus 1 format. I want you to be really, really attentive, okay? I've already said it multiple times. It's a 1 versus 1, which means you're an individual speaker, not a team speaker.
Individually, we have to go.
Sorry?
I'm asking for 1 versus 1. We'll be speaking both pro and con, right?
No, you will have 2 speakers. One speaks proposition, other speaks opposition. You can't really have turn code. This is not turn code. Okay, Pratham?
So, ma'am, a person will have to speak for 9 minutes till 3 minutes per round, right?
Can you speak a little louder, Pratham?
The person will have to speak for 3 minutes per round, and there'll be 3 rounds, so total 9 minutes.
Yes. So in total, you're speaking for 6 minutes, 3 minutes main speech, 3 minutes summary speech.
Oh, so it's 2 rounds per debate.
Yeah. Nithilia?
Ma'am?
Okay,
Ma'am,
go ahead.
Ma'am, what is going to be the time difference between the opposition and proposition speeches, ma'am?
Can you speak a little louder?
Ma'am, what is going to be the time difference between opposition and proposition speeches, ma'am?
Nothing. All of them speak for 3 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
It's right there in front of this PPT.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Amazing. Okay, moving ahead. Types of motions. You can expect this is not the motion I repeat. You don't have to take a screenshot. This is the type of motion which actually come. We will be releasing the motion soon. So the first motion is this house believes that India should be portrayed as the center of knowledge with reference to Vedic age. Second, this house regrets Indian rulers that become allies of the Mughal Empire. This house would ban products in India which are wrongly appropriated by the West patenting of name. I will be explaining all of this motion in the next 10 minutes. But first, I want you to tell one.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, what is I did not understand the third thing the house is saying.
Yes, I was explaining the motion. Please have patience. These are the type of motions you get and not the actual ones. We will be releasing it soon.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Amazing. Cool. So A, first motion on-site proposition. I want you to mute yourself, Kemitra. Great. The first motion actually talks about whether India should be portrayed as the center of knowledge according to Vedic age or whether it should not. So this house believes that. What does the house believe? House is basically your debating round. Like whenever you get into Zoom round, that is called house. Okay, easy. So whether you live in your house, you can also call it, the house believes it. Amazing. So on proposition, we will be telling why India should be portrayed as the center of knowledge reference to Vedic age. Tomorrow, we will be discussing it effectively. Thirdly, this house regrets, which means on side proposition, you are regretting that Indian rulers become allies of the Mughal Empire. So if you know, most of the Mughal empires weren't a part of the Indian subcontinent. They migrated from a lot of countries. This looks like Turkey. This looks like a lot of other South Asian, Pan-Asian countries that you probably see around. Like if you like, there's so many rulers where descendants are not exactly Indian origin to begin with. Last, this house would ban, which means on-site proposition, you're banning products in India which are wrongly appropriated by the West. What is appropriation? Is basically copying. Appropriation. I will give you an example. How many of you know Justin Bieber? Nobody knows Justin. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I see hands. So yeah.
Justin Bieber. Yeah.
Justin Bieber is a Canadian.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Miss, I hate Justin Bieber because I love Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's amazing. We didn't probably debated on Justin Bieber. I want to give you an example. And also, please ensure that you raise your hand and ask
He's
it.
a very good pop singer.
Amazing.
It's horrible.
Amazing. So note, that Justin Bieber is a Canadian person. So let's say he wears a t-shirt which is of North Africa. It isn't his country's t-shirt, but he's wearing other country's t-shirt. That's called copying. It can have both pros and cons, but it basically has a lot of cons. Okay, wrongly appropriate, which means you're trying to copy the thing that belongs to a different culture and you're trying to print it in a culture which is largely majoritarian. Works well with everyone. What am I trying to say? On opposition, you say that you do not want to ban products in India which are wrongly appropriate, which means this copying is fine because more popularity, more celebrities get to know about cultures which are never known by people who are popular. Works well. I'll take up questions. Pratham first.
Sorry, ma'am, my hand is up by mistake.
Okay. Nithilian. If you are not asking a doubt, please let your hand down. Vihan.
Yes, ma'am, I had a doubt. Ma'am, so the motions will be given before the competition itself, and we will have time to prepare before the competition, or will they be given on the spot?
No, there are 3 rounds. 2 rounds will be given beforehand. 1 round will be given right there in front of you and get time to prepare. Works well?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Vaibhav?
Miss, it was the name thing. I wasn't unable to understand that what was happening. Like the patents of neem.
I am so sorry. Can you repeat your question?
I wasn't understandable why the products should be banned and why are they wrongly appropriated by the West due to
Okay,
neem.
Do you think the West culture is really popular? Like everybody loves Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber is really famous. Like US products are really. Do you think where are jeans from? US. Where are fries from? US. Where do you think
No, fries are not from US. They're from
it's
Belgium.
like wrongly appropriate. Like it genuinely had so much franchise in US. It can have different origins, but it's sailed and packaged in United States of America.
Yeah,
basically
mostly all the
Texas.
stuff is done in US. They call it
Yeah,
the land of future for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. So, US has a lot of, like American pop culture has a lot of influence. You can disagree, you can agree, but I would rather agree. I can also disagree. But yes, I want you to raise your hand if you agree US has a lot of influence on your life.
Yeah. Even in US is also very unsafe. In places like Target, there are guns, like AK-47s. Armed terrorists are attacking normal people. It's crazy in US. And the same happens in
Yes, exactly right. So a lot of people agree that US has a lot of influence. And US actually has a lot of products which are copied from countries which are culturally not known. And you actually wear it and you never identify because people like Justin Bieber, people like Trump, people like, Kylie Jenner really make you feel that, US culture is really, really big. So they try to copy a lot of culture which you don't know. It can be better, it can be bad. So on side proposition, you will be discussing that you should ban every product which is you think is wrongly copied from the West. West can be anything. It's basically US. It can also be UK. It's basically all the countries.
US and UK, they are the biggest copycats. Especially when you see they did the British colonization. They copied everything from our civilization. In fact, they took our prime minister, Rishi Sunak. He's of Indian origin.
Sorry, I know, right?
When UK does not copy much as compared to the US, but when the UK copies, it copies in an extreme level.
Yes, we have to agree at some point of time that we are influenced by US because people think US is more developed. Like you can't really deny that we are not influenced by US. We love the Indian culture because I've seen people say that the Indian culture is bad because we love US more. Like that doesn't like it makes sense because you get level of development. But I'm just dropping controversial opinion because people are influenced by US. Everything that happens in US, everybody's like tweeting, everybody is going on social media, and everybody is doing a lot of things, right? So when you look at yoga, how many of you've seen that yoga is now getting done, like getting promoted in United States of America, basically in New York. You have yoga centers, which actually is done by Indian people. Because like some niche cultures like Indian culture is now getting popular in US because US is trying to, make money out of Indian culture. It can be bad, it can be really good. I want you to research on it. We are discussing it tomorrow for sure. Yeah, exactly. Fair. Like it can be appreciation on side op, it can be copying on side gov. You need to define the motion and try to make it really fair for the opposition as well. Works well? I'll take a Mithilian. Okay, Vihan?
Oh no, ma'am, I did not have any doubt.
Okay, lower your hands if you don't have a doubt. I will be having all the doubts cleared at the end of the entire speech. Okay, I'm actually, oh damn, Weber, no Hindi, English, formal. Okay, cool, amazing. Important clarification, all 3 rounds will have 3 motions. It can be different. Okay, I'll let you know. Second, attending and preparing for all rounds is mandatory because you're getting something out of it. Thirdly, average of all rounds. So let's say you got 30 in one round, 29 at one round, 27 at one round. So we will plus it and we will put out as average as the main score, which might determine who is actually going to finals and semifinals. Amazing. You can refer to sheets for giving your speech, but do not read it. Like that's kind of like just don't become dependent on speech. Try to ensure that like don't memorize as well because you've got enough time. We've started it like 1 month before. I want you to understand this broad theme because it's like very, very expansive. You can buy books, you can start learning it and like start from Wikipedia, go through historical TV sites and try to understand what this theme actually looks like in the very first place. Okay, controversial opinions in the chat. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining. I'll be opening everything to questions. Imad first.
Oh, I accidentally raised my hand. I'm sorry.
Okay, amazing. Any doubts, guys? You guys can like actually go through the recording. We will be posting by the end of the day. So anybody who's missed it, anybody who actually lost focus can genuinely go ahead and watch the recording. Yes, Aviva.
Hi, so in the PPT, you had mentioned that there will be 3 motions for each of the 3 rounds. So for the first round for the qualifiers, you will be giving 3 motions. So there will be 3 different debates taking place with the same competitor. Or is it something else?
No, we will be having 1 motion for every round.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Pratham?
For rescheduling, suppose we're unavailable, what exactly do we have to do?
Okay, write an email to Hello Ogly and we're good to go. I'll just send the email ID on the group as well. So if you have any emergency, if you're feeling like sick, if you have to go somewhere, try to attend it because it's a learning experience and you just have to give a 6-minute speech. So basically you're doing like a 30-minute job, 6-minute speech, and then you're just like ensuring that you're waiting for the qualitative feedback, getting inside. All of this takes 30 minutes actually. Dhriti.
Yeah, so you said that it's going to be an individual 1v1, right?
Yeah.
But you also mentioned something about teams and stuff, so I'm kind of confused on that part.
I did not mention teams. If I would have mentioned it, I was saying that we had team events back when we organized 300 plus tournaments. So it's like a specifically 1 versus 1 tournament. Works well?
Okay.
Amazing. Ishanvi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So will the recording for the qualifier rounds be given too?
Okay, so it depends on which person wants to get recorded. So we get inside your Zoom meeting and we're like, who wants to get recording? And then we determine which person is really comfortable getting recorded. So we actually ask for consent. Okay. Any other doubts, guys? Yes, I see 2 more hands. We are actually done with the session. I can send you all the recordings. I want you to go through and understand the emotions that we have been discussing with the. Oh my God. Okay. Viraj first and then Dhriti.
Yes, ma'am. So like I had a doubt when you said like yoga yoga, which was invented in India, is actually becoming popular in the New York, USA. But I actually did not understand like how is it copying, because like French fries were invented in Belgium, pizza was invented in Rome, but we make money out of it in India as well by selling it.
That's a very good argument on opposition, because it's supporting making profit and people getting jobs. Note, how is it wrongly appropriation? A lot of like, do you think a lot of countries have invented French fries? No, it's basically we're influenced with a lot of other countries, basically the Western nations, and we try to copy their culture. And it's actually true. You wear jeans, do you think it's Indian? You wear like I think that's like a opposition as well. Like people now wear khadi kurta and jeans. So I think that's a mix of culture. But people prefer wearing anime t-shirts. Like people have been copying K-pop. K-pop in India is really famous. Do you guys agree? So that's like a culture, like wrongly appropriation, because a lot of Indian people now start wearing K-pop clothes, and a lot of US people take money. So do you think it's ethical? Do you think it's unethical? So that's a question. Viraj, are we clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Amazing. Dhriti first.
Yeah, just you said a range of dates. So we'll get to know the exact date for the qualifiers little later on, right?
I've actually dropped the qualifier dates.
Yeah, but you said like a range of dates.
Yeah, exactly. What you have to done in each, what you have to actually do in each round will be like schedule will be out ASAP. So it starts at 26th October, ends at 7th November. We'll send out schedule soon.
Okay, thanks.
No fighting in the chat box. Yes, exactly. Nithilian, Vaibhav, and Avaiva. Note, if you don't have a doubt, you feel free to, let's say, eat your snacks or maybe start studying or maybe like watch anything. Just feel free to leave the meet. We are actually done. If you have any doubts, let me know. Yes, Nithilian.
Excuse me, ma'am. I just wanted to add a bit more patrol to this argument.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I beg to differ that I think the Western culture actually copies the European culture more than a traditional Indian culture. If you
Yeah, it's
see,
basically, yeah.
if anyone's heard of New York jam style pizza, New York pizza, anyone? Almost half of the Indian population has heard of it, about the New York pizza. So, New York pizza, it's famous all over the world. But was it made in New York? It was, though the New Yorkers, they made it in their own style. They added more cheese as compared to the Italians. But pizza will always stay pizza, right? So you cannot just change it by calling it New York cheese pizza. This is utmost stupidity.
Yes, that's amazing, Weber, with your insightful opinion. If you have any doubts, let me know. You can actually like start discussing arguments on like all of these three motions. No, these are not the actual motions. You will be notified about the real motions. Yes, before I actually go and take the real questions, please lower your hands. Okay, there's like a lot of controversy here. Nithilian first, Vaiva and K Mitra. The last three doubts.
Ma'am, I have a question, ma'am. For the opposition, our proposition is going to be a prepared speech, but will the opposition also be a prepared speech, or is it going to be just a response speech?
No, everything like the format remains same for everybody. If you're having two rounds which are like prepared, it will be applicable for both. So there is no discrimination.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. A Viva. Like a Viva. That sounds like you're taking Viva, but a Viva.
No, it's actually Aviva. I don't know. My name
I'm
is
so sorry.
Peter, but it's fine. Anyway, my question was that so along with the motion that you said we'll get 48 hours or 24 hours before the actual round, will we also get it with proposition or opposition then, or do we need to prepare speeches for both of them or reference points?
That's a really good question. We will have to prepare from both sides and we will be allocated sides on the day of the tournament.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Mitra.
Hi, ma'am. First of all, I have two doubts. The first one is the PPT that you have shown now will be shared in the group.
Yes.
And the second one is there will be three different topics in three different rounds in qualifiers. And then there will be teams or one-on-one.
No teams. One-on-one is individual.
Okay, so we'll be talking both proposition and con.
Note, we will let you, obviously, like you can't really have proposition all 3 rounds. You will be given opposition as well.
Okay, ma'am. So there'll be training sessions for it.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. That's all.
Great. Neil?
Ma'am, in the starting you were mentioning something about the state-wise draw or teams. I was a little confused in that. So it's 1v1, right?
Yes, yes. Don't get confused in the state. We will let you inform about everything. Today was like a general introduction of what we expect and what you have to go through, so it's clear. Works well?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
That's amazing. Any more doubts? Amazing. Watch the recording and we're good to go. Meet you guys tomorrow, same time. If you don't have the capacity to join because you're having emergency, you aren't back from your tuitions or anything, just like watch the recording. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining. Enthusiastic response. Devika, we can stop the recording.